So,
There we go.
all right, guys, thank you so much. Thank you for making this a night that we don't usually meet on this night. So let's go ahead and get started. The Thursday, September 21st, 2023, special town council meeting. You have the agenda in front of you. You've been given the information. Let's start off by the Pledge of Allegiance. So if everybody can unmute and just look towards the flag someplace, and we're going to start. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, that's kind of
Fabulous.
That
It was.
kind of weird. That's okay. We did it. So we did it. So roll call. Roll call.
Sure. Mayor Benton,
Here.
Mr. Dotson, Miss Healy, Mrs. Healy.
Here.
Mr. Hummel. Mr. Hummel was not here. Miss Kabler,
Here.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Troncone, Mr. Wilcox.
Here.
Shag.
Perfect. Paul did say that he didn't know if he could join because he's traveling this week. He emailed me.
So we will drag. We're going to talk about this. Drag our feet a little bit until Mickey gets on, so we have at least 4, or Greg. We won't go long. So you were all given this information.
Wait a minute. You have to approve the agenda
Oh,
first.
excuse me.
Oh.
Excuse me. I'm skipping. Well, we don't have a quorum,
Oh, that's right. You don't.
so we'll wait.
Jibber jabber.
Well, let's just move right into public comments. The Town of North Beach welcomes public comments. Please step to the podium at your house. State your name, address, and limit your comments to 3 minutes. Obviously, we have a special meeting tonight about a subject matter here, so we'll wait another second. If not, we're going to move on. Let me know if anybody goes in the chat box, Stacy.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on. Good. All right. So you all received this. It's on board docs. It's out there in the world. Stacy sent it to you. I think Lauren also had some stuff. This is not an option. We don't have an option to say no. We can't hide. It's going to happen. So we need to decide. What our goal is today is decide what is the best direction. We have 3 options. One is not an option. One is self-fund. We took that off the table. Number 2 is go with the state. And number 3 is join this consortium with some fellow towns to see if we can get a better rate. A better rate. So if you don't know what the Time to Care Act is, again, all this information has been given to you. We're involved. We're lower than 300 employees, but it's 12 weeks of paid leave. Now, it could be 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. It could be 5 days, 6 days, 8 days, 12 days. It doesn't mean 12 weeks at one time. It can be over time. And that the key there is in a 12-month period. It didn't say 1 year, it said 12 months. So a lot of this still needs to be worked out. You saw in the notes, they still haven't set up a lot of the information. They just pretty much passed it and then said, well, let's figure it out down the road. I think that's the reason why the state version you can't start collecting benefits until 2026. All right, Mr. Dotson's here. How you doing, buddy? Hold
You're
on.
muted, Greg.
So there you go.
Okay, sorry about that. Sorry I'm a little tardy, but I'm
You're-
here.
You're all right. You're here.
That's
You're here
okay.
at the perfect time. You're at the perfect time. So what I was saying, Greg, is everybody received this in the email. I've had 20 conversations with Stacy, MML, Teresa Coons, all the legislative staff, Calvert County, all the municipalities in Southern Maryland, plus probably 10 that surround us about this Time to Care Act, because this is a big deal. It provides 12 weeks of paid leave within a 12-month period. Again, let me reiterate, it could be 5 days today, 7 days next week, 8 days the following month. It's not 12 weeks at one time. So I think this part for us as a town is the easy decision. What's going to happen is, and when I talked to the Calvert County people today, and when I was at the State House today talking to some towns out west, Their biggest concern, which should be ours, is the replacement of that person while that person's out. Because if anybody can just take off work for 12 weeks and be all right, don't worry, we don't have to replace them, then you've really got to rethink that position. So really one of the things that we're going to end up dealing with down the road one day is filling that job while that person's off. So this is the easy part. So there's 3 options with this Time to Care Act. You give it all the information you have. There's nothing more out there you can get. You can print it out. You can do whatever you want to do with it. MML did an amazing job negotiating, working on our behalf to get a consortium going. So we have 3 options that we can choose today. I think one is definitely off the table. Number 1 is self-fund. I think take that off the table. Nobody's doing that. Also, Ocean City, I think, just signed up today with the consortium. But on the other hand, part 2, you can go at the state. Now, the state, it hasn't come out yet. They're saying October 1, maybe, can charge up to 1.2%. Now, if they're allowed to go to 1.2, is anybody willing to bet what the number is going to be?
1.2.
I'm thinking 1.2, maybe not, but I'm thinking it's going to be close to 1.2, maybe 1 to 1.2, because their biggest fear, talking to state officials, is going in too low because it can't go back. The rate will be reevaluated every 12 months. So once this thing is set, they're stuck with it until a year. So the person that qualifies for this Time to Care Act is any staff member employee with at least 680 work hours in 12 months. That's not many. So 680. Obviously, we have our 14 staff members. We have 3 of the 14 are full-time, part-time. The rest are all full-time. I'm sure Stacy, I probably butchered that, but you know what I mean. And then we do have some waterfront staff that pushes that number some because, it's hard to find people. So sometimes in that 135-hour window, some people work more than 5 hours. Once the rate is set, the town, the county, whatever, the employers pays 50% of it, and the employee pays 50% of gross payroll. Not net, gross. I think there's going to be some more parameters in there once they come out. When is it coming out? Published rate takes effect, on 124. So it's still a long ways away before there we go. The regulations aren't going to come out until January of 2024. I think there's going to be some more changes with it, but what will not change is us having to put money into this. How it's administered, the rules and stuff, I think it's going to continue to evolve. Even though they passed legislation, they didn't do anything with regs yet. And Greg is familiar with that stuff because he's always on the legislative board up there. So tonight, with all the information you've been given, we really just have to vote on one thing. Do you want to go with option 1 that automatically goes with whatever the state comes out with? The contribution starts on January 1, 2024. Benefits do not start until 1/1/2026. That's option 1. Option 2, we join with the MML and other municipalities. We join the consortium. For our town, because we have under 200 employees, it's $3,000 one-time pay. That all goes towards getting the RFP out, going to find these companies. Talking to individuals today, they feel very confident that they'll do well finding people because they've done it in other states. If that happens, we go with plan B, the consortium. Your vote tonight is to vote to approve the $3,000 with the letter of intent that we need to do to join the consortium. But our contributions would not start until 1/1/26. So it's pushed off down the road. So that is the question for you today, for council members. I think Mickey might be on here shortly. Paul might not.
He's here.
Mickey's here? Or Paul?
Mickey's here.
And Paul just showed up.
All right, cool. Thank you so much. All right, I can't. Oh, there you go. All right, sorry about that, Mickey. I didn't realize you were there.
It's fine. I just joined like a few minutes ago.
Okay, so we have option one, go with the state. They'll publish the regulations on 1/1/24, which is going to affect both options. Contribution starts on 1/1/24, benefit starts on 1/1/26, up to 1.2%. We don't know what that is yet. We don't know what they're going to come out with. Or we go with option two, the consortium with other municipalities to get a private company to do this. And the goal is their rates are lower. And if their rates are lower, we can go with them. But let's say that company comes back and the rates are higher. Then you know, we took an investment. We tried the best for the resident, for the town and for the staff, but it didn't work out. I think it's a risk worthwhile taken. So that's your two votes today. Either option one, state, option two, the consortium. You have all the facts in front of you. I cannot give you any more facts. You have it all. Any questions?
I have a few, but we might as well approve the agenda, then move forward.
You're absolutely right. We do have a quorum now. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
So moved. Second?
Second.
We have a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much. 5-0. And then Paul abstained. So let's
Okay,
get
I
back.
have a question. I'm puzzled by this, but I think, well, there's a couple of questions. If we go with the consortium, we're not paying till 2026. And all the people,
into
right,
2026.
we don't start paying in. But if people go with the state, they're starting 2024.
Yep.
Is that because the state is trying to build up reserves before it kicks in?
Without
Is that what they're
Yes,
Yes.
yes, it's
yes.
it's pre-funding it,
They're
pre-funding it.
pre-funding it. Okay.
Yes,
And then because I'm just trying to figure out, because as we're discussing this, I don't see it. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't think I am. I don't see how any employer would go with the state if they have the opportunity to go find a private one to do it. So they may end up getting nobody or very few, and they're going to be underfunded from square one. I mean, from step one. So I'm just puzzled by, there are going to be employers who are just going to go, I don't want to deal with it. I'll just deal with the state and let it start 2 years early. So I'm just puzzled by this. Could they pass regulations that say if you're using a private insurer, is that you've got to begin paying as of when we do? Let's put it that way.
I don't think so, because there's 15 other states have already gone through this. This was presented to Governor Hogan, who vetoed it, and then it came back up with the new governor. So this is not new. This has been around. It just got vetoed before. From what I've heard, no, it's just the state as a whole is just trying to, kind of one of those lockbox things. We've heard about those before when it comes to transportation tax. They're trying to pre-fund it, because they don't know where this is going to go. This could be a massive undertaking for the state. It really could. Look, if you look at your package, if you get a chance, there's so many options that we haven't even, that people can use this for. Many options, there's so many options. So my point is, I think the state is just trying to protect their hand and do it that way. And if we do go with a consortium, I don't think they care either, because maybe there's less work on their side. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like, as I'm reading it over, it looks like the Federal Family Medical Leave Act, except now being paid. The qualifications that are for how to take it seems to be mirroring what the feds do.
Yes.
So I can just see this is the state plan, except now you're actually getting some sort of salary up to 90% or
90.
up to $1,000 or something like that.
90% up to $1,000.
Up to $1,000 a month.
We recently had a staff member, so we would have been dealing with this if this was in effect already last year. So
just a very ballpark number, since you were saying it was gross salary.
All right.
let's say 1%, because it's an easy number to figure out.
So
how much would we be paying a year?
right now, not counting, Stacy and I did this, not counting the COLA that we gave everybody, we're gonna go with a ballpark of $1 million for the total town staff, everybody.
Per year, that would be per year
year.
if we start, whenever we start. If it is 1%, I'm just doing it just
1% would be $10,000
Mm-hmm.
and be
and
5.
so 1.2,
Yeah.
10,000 a month.
Or 10,000 or 12,000, depends. I mean, if it's,
Okay.
But the point is that, we went with 1% saying it's going to be $10,000, 5,000 to the employers and $5,000 to the employees. What we're hoping at this consortium is that they can get it down to 0.90 or 0.7, lower number, because it's not just about the town. It's about another tax or another fee coming from our staff's paycheck that most of them may not ever use. It's an insurance that's going to be funding everybody but them. And I'm not saying all of them, and I'm not going to hear and line them and say who could be this, who could be that. But if you look at what they could use it for, take a look at our staff, talk to them, come by town. I mean, I can see very few of our staff tapping into this, so they're going to be paying this no matter if they like it or not. So if we can get it down, no matter what we can get it down, it's going to be a huge. It's going to help our staff out besides our budget out. But more, I hate to, don't take this wrong way, but more importantly, it's going to help our staff out.
Yeah. And this is just another one which I'm just trying to understand. All right, so the consortium works. It's something, and they come in, that the state's at 1.2%, and the consortium saying it's going to pay 75, making it up. Now, how does that contribute? Because if you're on the state program, you're required to add in 1.2, and then we as a consortium, each one of us is putting in 75. Mm-hmm. How does the state accept that?
I can assume, because again, we haven't gotten to that point yet, is the way the consortium works is because there's a minimum number the state has. I think the 1.2 is the highest number that they can go up to. They might not go, they might go to 1, but the cost to produce is greater than if you have an independent contractor come in. That's the only I can think of.
Okay. Because I'm just wondering if we're going to be stuck, let's say we get to 2026 and all of a sudden the state's changed its rules and we can't do what we're doing. And then,
well, we have 30 days notice to walk away from the consortium.
Yeah, no, I meant that it doesn't accept the consortium. The state doesn't accept the consortium.
That's fine. Then all we are invested invested 3,000 into trying to do something right, and then we give the consortium 30 days notice and we're out, and then we go to the state.
You go to the state.
I mean, that's to me the worst case scenario. Based off of my conversations today at the State House with some people and talking over the last couple of days, I don't know for sure. I can't, don't hold me to this, but I feel very confident that the consortium will work. I can't guarantee it, but I think it's well worth the investment of $3,000 to see and get a part of a group that can help us get a better rate.
No, and it just
kind of like health insurance.
Yeah, didn't you mention? I want to say it was like 13 states, dozen states, other ones who've done it. I forget the number.
I think 15. 15
states do this or do something along. Are they doing the same sort of mixture of consortiums and state run and
in most of those states the consortium has worked. Okay. Again, every state's different, so I don't want anybody to paint the picture. Well, the mayor said it's going to but I just think it's well worth it to our taxpayers and to our staff members to give it a shot.
Another question: what is, if they've already done it, how many entities, municipalities, need to be required for the consortium to work? How many are they talking about? What's the minimum number?
They never told me the minimum number. I did talk to Morningside last night. I think Greg knows Mayor Cand, and he's joining up. Ocean City just joined up today.
How many we got so far, Mike, that's joined?
Okay, hold on, let me pull it up. Ocean City, La Plata, Bladensburg, College Park, Morningside. That was the text at this point at 9 o'clock. I don't know how many more since then, because they have up till the 29th to do it, to join. And really you got a little bit longer than that, but they wanted by the 29th to know. They never said to me about a minimum. they just never said.
All right, well, has there been any talk about who has decided to go with the state and not
No.
do the consortium?
The only question
Wonder-
they sent out to everybody, and we sent it out again today, Greg, because I did a conference call with about 9 mayors. I reached out to them and organized a conference call, and I probably shouldn't say this on recording, but 7 didn't even know about it. So, you know, we got our ear to the ground with all of us and Stacy and all of us doing it, but that I made them send out another email today and reach out to all the mayors again. And I think we're going to see over the next probably 7 days a large increase because it's going to be a better topic of conversation. And when I will tell you, I talked to 2 mayors today at the State House, and I talked to them and they said, well, I turned it over to my HR director. I'm not sure what they're doing.
Yeah, I had my clerks meeting today virtually, and so I hit a few of them up after the meeting, and some of them said they've turned the information over to their, town administrator and things like that, but they haven't made any decisions yet. So
We're
So
just
could
trying. Go ahead.
So there could be, I mean, not for us, because we're gonna make a decision one way or the other. Is that if towns don't do anything by the deadline, are they automatically
They
then
did.
enrolled in the
They
state?
do. Yes, you do. By doing nothing,
Yes.
you agree to do the state.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's an opt-out, not an opt-in.
Yes. It's you agree to
Yes.
go with the state if you don't do anything. And
Okay.
I don't, even the ones I talked to, I just don't think it makes sense not to give it a shot, man. If we can save something, and it's not just this year, it's every year, because every year is reevaluated. The state is going to reevaluate that number every single year. So it's not about the savings the first go around, it's the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, eighth, 10th year that really you'll start seeing the numbers pile up. So our decision today is not about today. It's about 2, 3, 4, 5 years as this thing goes on, because that's a lot of money. We got some young staff members that will be paying into this for a long time. Any other questions? Nikki's on mute. Mary's on mute. I like Mary's background. You should start doing Zoom calls now, Mary.
My only question will come in once it's active.
All right, cool.
It has nothing to do with the question of whether or not we should spend the $3,000 to try and get a better fee. So it's more of a more nuts and bolts on how this thing goes out, like different qualifiers within what can you use it for. And that's not even heavily broached right now because there's still 2 years left for it to be figured out before it's like active. So to me, it makes sense to spend the $3,000 now to try and see if we can save the money.
Yeah, and Nikki, in the email Stacy sent out, look for this Bolton one. It tells you everything. All right, cool.
Yeah, I read through it, but I can see caveats and loopholes.
Well,
So
cool. Absolutely. So thank you. Mary, who
I'm for spending the money to join the group.
and
is that a motion? Is that a motion?
Real quick, it's an investment. I know we're spending, but it is truly an investment into our town and into our staff. I mean, I know the word spending, I know it's a word, but still though, we're investing.
Right.
I really think it's an investment for everybody, but absolutely. Is there any other discussion before I call for the vote? And then I can go into discussion again, but. All right.
I'm up for the investing.
All right. Thank you. Can I get a motion?
move to spend the 3,000 and join the let me say the right word, collaborative.
It's collaborative, yeah.
All right, so we have a motion to join. Do I have a second?
I second.
So Mickey motion, Mary second. Do we have any further discussion?
Call the question.
What's your question?
That's very Robert's rules of you.
I know.
That means take the vote.
Yes.
He said takes the vote.
Yes. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 All right, 5 love.
Yeah.
All right, no, none against. Paul's not here, so obviously he didn't vote. So thank you for your time. Special meeting took care of it. If we don't have anything else to talk about the Time to Care Act, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Got a second?
Mickey second.
Second, any discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, so moved. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
All right. thank
Yeah, keep
you.
Good night,
us in the
everyone.
loop.
Good
Oh,
night.
don't worry, you will be. All
All
right,
right,
guys.
hope it goes well. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.